Hey, what's up, everyone? So maybe you have done this thing where you've done the Anchor protocol mixed with Mirror protocol to make about 50% on your stablecoins. But after you do that, there's a couple questions that come up. How do I take out the 25% from my short farm? How do I add more to this farm? And then also, how do I just cash everything out and get all my money back? And I'm going to show you all three of those things in this video. What's up, everyone? This is Evan with Crypto Cash Camp. On this channel, we mostly talk about passive income in the DeFi space, farming, staking, plug and play opportunities, and yeah, that's what we get into. So if you're interested in that, please consider subscribing. Also, we've got a course we are dropping, so check a link in the description. It's more of a deep mastermind, a selective mastermind. So if that's something you're interested in, check the link. There's going to be exclusive access and discounted access for the first cohort that goes through. So check that out. And also, please just drop a like, just a little tap. All that does. That's all you need to really make this a lot better and make this video, which takes a lot of brain power, get out to more and more people. Let's get into it. All right. So here's a video I made. It's called Safe Passive Income, Crypto Stablecoin 50% APR Strategy. Okay, that gets you into the point that you're throwing money on Anchor. And then with that, you're using that as collateral for Mirror. It's a whole process, but that video explains it more, so I'm not going to go do that whole video again. But let's go into my Mirror protocol. So if you go to Mirror, this is me logged in. I have nothing in my wallet right now in terms of stable coins. So we're going to go over here and we're see hey, wow. So it's pretty interesting. I've got 420 bucks. I actually started with 400. So I somehow have an extra 20 bucks. Wait, what happened there? Let's check what just happened. Yeah, that was weird. That wasn't supposed to happen. Anyways, let's just do this overview. I haven't touched this since the last video, but this shows I've started with $400, 200 of which I threw into Anchor protocol, and then I used that collateral over here on the short farm. And if you click on the short farm, you will actually see that I have, of that $200 after 15 days, half of it gets unlocked. This may sound complicated, but you have to watch the first video to understand this. So you put 200 of the AUST into the short farm to borrow the collateral to mitigate to do the downside risk. And the upside risk is a long farm where you take the stock and equal amounts of UST and farm that. So you're in an up and down, which makes it delta neutral. The only thing you got to watch out for is this collateral value right here, because if it drops to 150, you get liquidated, and that's not what you want to do. So just keep an eye on that, and that's important. No one told me that. I didn't need it, but let's do the first thing. So it's been 15 days. You started this whole process. Claim that UST. We're going to click here. We're going to claim that $103, and I'm going to write it down just to see how much profits are going to be. All right, we're going to go ahead and post this. All right, we're going to just let it go through. All right, so remember, I always use a ledger. I love it. This is a Ledger X. There's so many smart people out there that can take your money, and I don't even know how. This just gives me the security that I have to physically click these buttons to ever make a transaction on any of my EVM chains, so Avalanche, Phantom, Ethereum, and then also this guy right here, Terra Luna. So if you want it, link in the description. It's well worth it, 110, 120 bucks. The other one, the cheaper one, you can only put two chains. You can only put Ethereum and Bitcoin, or Ethereum and Luna. That's it. So this one's way worth it because you can fit 20 or 30 different chains. Yeah, and you want to keep swapping chains like the other one. Okay, we did that. 10-cent fee, not bad. Okay, so I got my 100 bucks back. And now what do we got? Okay, so now we've got just our short farm, and we've made a little bit of money there. So we got our short farm here. We're making 22% there. You've got our long farm here, which is making 15%. And just remember that this now, of the, say, now it's $300. We've got $200 on the long farm. So $200 making 15%. And then we've got $100 making 22%. So always know when you're looking for farms in the future, the long farm is the one you're going to be more exposed to and making more money from. So it can be advantageous to look at that. And speaking of exploring farms, I have a really good link on different farm opportunities. And I'll show you that in the very end to find out which farm you'll be making the most money on in terms of historical long and short values. Okay, let's go back to my page. All right, so we just pulled out our $100. We've got that. Okay, now let's how do we claim rewards? And look, let's look at Mir. Mir is not doing good. All right, guys. It's just dropping, and it should pick up because it's such a cool protocol. And I am farming it paired with UST somewhere else, which hasn't been great. But let's just show you the last year. Mir has just been on a steady slide down, and this was all the hype when it launched. Let's go all time. Okay, it launched here, got hype, and then it's kind of been falling down. 120, 105. Yeah, it definitely has a floor of $1. It's just such a, you can farm it for so much. On Terra, it's the one coin that you can farm for the most. So I bet at $1, it's probably not a bad buy. Not financial advice, just my opinion. So know that if you just want to make profit, just buy and dump, buy and dump. So with that being said, we have made a whopping 4 Mir, which is $6.50. So $6.50 on $3. Let's do the calculation. All right, so I just did the math, and it looks like the APR is about 16% on the long and short farm, which isn't tremendous, and I think that's probably because I haven't been constantly selling off the Mir as it's been dropping. And if I did, it would probably be a little bit better. So if you have a lot of money, just start selling off those Mirs. So yeah, this is the chart. This is the calculator, guys. I need to give them a shout out for this because it's so good. So the short position is $100. We're making 22%. So 1 year I'll be making $22 there. Long farm is 15%, so making $16 there because it's double the amount. And then we're going to move on over to, yeah, this doesn't actually look right. Let's correct this. So this looks a little bit more like it, but you are making, rather than just the 20%, you're making 30.66% with the current rates now. Remember, Mir was doing some crazy farming rates. Now, I guess when you do this and you add up the UST we're making, it's a lot better. So it's not amazing, but it's still pretty good. All right, so now let's go back to the Mir protocol. What we're going to do is let's farm these guys. Let's claim our rewards, cash them out, secure the profits. And we're going to claim that right now. Remember, always use the ledger. It unlocks, so you have to manually unlock it all the time. That's the only annoying thing about it. And we're going to post this. Approve the transaction. Yeah, I wouldn't be in DeFi without one of these just because there's so many smart people out there that know how to take your stuff. There's so many websites you type in like Time Wonderland, and there's like 3 fake sites in Google Ads, and as soon as you log in there, your wallet's drained if you don't have a ledger. So it scared me enough to buy one. All right, so I should have the Mir in my wallet now. Let's go check out Luna. Yep, we should definitely have Mir. And that should be it. Yeah, so we should have our 4 Mir, our $6 whopping. And now, what's the next thing we need to do? Also, if you don't mind waiting to the end, we have an awesome way of tracking all of your stuff going on in the Mir system and Anchor system. It's a good app that shows you all this. So give me a thumbs up. Helps with all this content getting out there to more people. All right, so let's do this. We are over here. We've got the $100, and now we want to throw more money back into this. Like we want to not just do this once. We got another lump of change that comes. Let's throw some more money back into this. So with that being said, let's just pretend we had that $100 initial investment size. Let's just throw $100 in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 200 in Anchor and 100 into the long farm. The way I like to do it so I don't leave myself exposed is to really make it in all 4 areas. So I would like to immediately put the money into the long farm, long and short, and not leave myself open. It's not delta neutral if we just do 200 here in Anchor and 100 there. So let me show you how I do this. Let's just pretend that we have to do 200 in each, so it'll be 25 in each. So I'm going to throw $50 into Anchor Protocol right now. So let's go to Anchor. And we're going to go to Web App. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to go to Earn. And we're going to Deposit. Let's say 50. Just in case there's some extra weird fee, let's just do 51. All right, so we're going to proceed. Approve that transaction on the ledger. All right, so I just made the deposit and I forgot like how much, since I already have some UST in here, how much did I actually deposit and how much AUST did I get? Because AST, you get a smaller amount than the UST. So I went over to 8board, 8board.finance. It's amazing. Connect your wallet. I would go to history, and then I saw right here for the 51, I got 42.4. 42.4. So you write that down, and then we're going to go over here. And now we actually need to buy some more shorts on this guy. So what we're going to do is we are going to keep shorting M Nvidia. So farm. You know, I would probably, if it was me, I'm just showing you how to do this one again. I might even look at, oh, there you go. Well, I guess it's not letting us do all of it, but we're going to keep the collateral factor in the safe area. Remember, when it goes down to 150, we more or less get liquidated, so that's no good. So, whoa. We don't want UST. Almost lost that. All right, we want AUST, and we want to do the 42.4. 42.4. And we're going to do the 200. You can even crank it up, but you're going to get less. You're going to get more exposure. So you want to just do the 200 because that's what they're recommending. Return. So in the 2 weeks, we will get that $26 back, which is awesome. 20-cent fee. Let's farm that. Just correct. AUST, 200%. We're doing the NVIDIA again because we're just adding in. We're going to increase this investment. And we're going to get the $26 back in 2 weeks. All right, let's farm that. Ledger. Get your ledger if you don't have one. All right, just move my picture around so you can see it. But let's move over here. But you can see right here on the bottom, March 14th. So February 28th, March 14th. That's when the rest of this will be unlocked. So we've done the short farm. And so now we have exposure on the short side. Now let's do the long farm. So we now have $51 to play around for the long farm. So in order to do that, we are going to need to pretty much trade $25 to get some of that. Where is this? I think it's NVIDIA, NVIDIA. So there's a bit of a premium on that. And let's just say 25.5. 25.5. We're going to get a little bit more NVIDIA. Limit order. You can do limit orders here. That's cool. All right, 10-cent fee. Let's go ahead and buy that. All right, I'm going to do this on the ledger. All right, so transaction is complete. Now let's go to farm. So since we have a little bit of this sitting around, let's get NVIDIA again. We're going to long farm it. Sometimes you have to do the magic D5 refresh to see. We're going to go to NVIDIA, NVD. So we've got a little bit of NVIDIA. We're going to max that out. We're going to provide an equal amount of this. So we have 26 and we're going to provide only 25 of it. So pool price is this, whatever. And yeah, we're going to farm it. So we've got the short. Now we're going to farm the high, or farm the long, which makes this delta neutral. Remember, if you do one side, you're not delta neutral. Let's confirm this. So now we've gone over, we've claimed our money. We've shown how to take the short farm, the money we got paid out from the short farm, throw it back into this investment. And the final step, even though this was kind of pointless, is to take all of our money out and see if we made anything. Okay, so now our investment has cranked up. What's going on here? Okay, this is just going crazy. All right, so roughly, yes, it should be about $420 worth of value. Perfect. All right, now let's exit this position because, it can be a little scary if you haven't done this before and you're like, oh man, if I lose it or if I do the wrong way, will I, realize gains or will I be openly exposed to the short or the long? So let's just go ahead and do this. Who cares about my mirror? Let's go with the short farm. So we're right here. And what we're going to do is start with withdraw. That just pulls out your LP, breaks it apart. So we're going to just go ahead and do that right now. Post it. So I should have 121 UST plus 0.48 NVIDIA. So let's go over here and check for that. It was, I have some NVIDIA down here, 0.48, perfect. So I guess if we just want to completely exit this whole system, we are going to sell the NVIDIA for UST. So we'll go ahead and do that at the trade page. Where is NVIDIA? I just type here NVDA. We'll go here. We're going to go swap. Now we want to sell NVIDIA. We're going to see this. You have to refresh all the time. Like Anchor's a little clunky. All right, so okay, come on, NVDA. There you go. Max that. We get 121.35. You would get, okay, because there is I think there's a 1% withdrawal fee. 1.5% when you like unmint and unbond it. And that's just something to keep track of when you're doing this. We're going to go ahead and post that. Confirm the transaction. Let that slide through. Okay, so I now should have, I should no longer have any of this NVIDIA, which is perfect. Now let's go back to the My page. And what are we still exposed to? Well, we still have a pretty giant short farm going on. And we need to get out of that. So we can go to Holding, Borrowing, and we see these are our two situations. Let's go to Manage. See, this is where it gets a little complicated, right? Like, oh man, what do I do? The collateral is AUST. We've given that. The collateral ratio has a 195. So the shorted amount is this to this. Your position can be liquidated if it falls below here. All right, perfect. All right, so we're here. We're looking at all this complicated stuff. We go, okay, we go over to here and we go, okay, let's close this. Now what? And what it says, we need to buy the mNVIDIA to close it. And how much mNVIDIA do we need? That much. So we're going to buy a little NVIDIA to close this. All right, we are going to buy this much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Push this transaction through. All right, so since we bought the mNVIDIA, we just go back to, My Farm, Borrowing, Manage, and we're going to go to Close, and we're going to do this close amount. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through this. So one of the things that I ran into an issue was that you cannot buy outside of market hours. So look at stock trading market hours compared to whatever time zone you're in, and that'll help you. So I couldn't buy, so now it's the next day, and we're finishing this. But just make sure. So we're going to go, I'm just going to quickly jump back over this. We are trying to close our short positions, our borrowed positions. And what we need to do that is we see my collateral is $51. I have borrowed this amount, 24.39 UST, at least in this one I just did yesterday. And what we have to do is we go to Manage, go to Close. Remember, if you do not have more than this amount, Close will not work. And sometimes this Close button does not turn on. Like, look at this. I do have more than that amount, so you gotta wait. And that's what happens. For those of us that aren't patient, you think there's a bug. And then you just click this. Authorize it on your ledger, whatever you got. Check it out, link in the description. Post that. I'm going to confirm this on the ledger. All right, let's let that go through. All right, so this is queued. Complete. Okay, so now we're completed. The whole goal is I threw in $400. I've made like $6 of Anchor in 45 days. We're going to actually see what the real APR is on this. And I might have a little bit more than expected in this. So, okay, so I've closed this amount. My withdrawal amount is 42.09 AUST. So I'm going to continue to write that down. I'm a big fan of tracking all this because this is so many numbers and it's very complex that it's very interesting to really find out what you're making. All right, so let's go to doing the next one. So we're going to go to, just go to the main My page. What else? What other outstanding positions do we have? We are borrowing over here, which means we are short farming. Remember, we can't really do anything over here, so the only actionable area we have is manage. So what we need to do over here is we need to buy 36.079 NVIDIA. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we need to use the money that we do have in our account to buy the NVIDIA. All right, let's go ahead and do that. We are going to buy this amount. Let's just go over here and just make it a little bit bigger. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and buy that. All right, so that's complete. And as you can see right down here, I do have my NVIDIA right there. Okay, so now we're going to go close this short out. So we've bought it. We go back to My page. And remember, to close a short out, you pretty much borrow a certain currency. And now you just have to pay back what you borrowed. So when you borrow on the top, and then it goes down, and you sell it for less, that's when you make money. But when you borrow it for a certain price, and it goes up, then you have to pay back more. So that's the basic idea about shorting. I know shorting can be a little complicated, and I could explain it better, but let's just finish out this video. It doesn't really matter. We just want to make passive income right now. So 36.05. We waited, patience, then the light turns on. I was Googling, trying to figure that out because I wasn't patient. And you know, patience in refreshing in DeFi is super important. You don't always know how important patience is until, you know, if you just waited another 5 seconds, the protocol would have loaded. Okay, so transactions finished. Now what we got is we have that whopping 170.86 AUST revenue. I'm writing all this down to make sure the numbers balance. Now just to see, is everything closed out? Well, let's go over here and see. Right now we've got NVIDIA, we've got a short farm going with this much mirror reward. We have 0 shorted, $0, 000. Is there anything to claim? There's no money to be claimed because we just pulled it all out. My NVIDIA, well, the pool price is $250. Do I have anything there? No. What about Mir? Maybe we can just trade that and cash that out and add that to our balance right now. All right, so let's do that. So right now, to kind of clean this up, I bought a little bit too much NVIDIA, so I need to cash that out. Also sell my Mir to see, like, in net how much I'm actually making from this. So I made a whopping $6.19 off 45 days with $400. Okay, now to get to a final price, I'm just on Anchor. I had this AUST I'm just going to convert because AUST is a little bit less because it's an interest-bearing asset. So I'm going to just withdraw a certain amount from our balance right here. So we see we have this amount AUST here. We have total deposited here. So what we're going to do is we're going to withdraw a certain amount. So we're going to withdraw, no, not AUST. We're going to withdraw AUST. All right, so this is exactly how much AUST I need to get out. And when you're on Anchor, it doesn't tell you how much AUST. They just say withdraw cash, and that's how it works. So we know over here that AUST is 1.21. So we're going to multiply this times 1.21. And we're going to pull out that much in UST. So you go over here to withdraw. We're going to withdraw this amount. Okay, copy and paste does not work. So 258.75. 258.75. All right, 25-cent transaction fee. All right, time for the final numbers. Let's just break this down and show that you are making a pretty solid profit. Okay, so I sold my Mir tokens. I've done all the right stuff, and I ended up right here. I started with 400. Actually, I started off with 300. Remember that extra 100 I pulled out? You can pull that out after 2 weeks. So just keep that in mind. So the active capital was $300. So I made $17 on 300. 17 divided by 300, which gives you 5.6%. Okay, 5.6%. That was 45 days. 45 days sounds complicated. There's 8 goes into a year, 8.33 times. So let's say 5.6. and to make 5.6, to annualize that, you multiply that to 8.333333, and that gets 46% on your money in a very stable fashion. Remember, the risks are making sure to check your collateral level all the time. Super important to do. So yeah, that's what I would highly recommend doing. But other than that, this is a very solid tactic. 46% on your stables. Anchor, it's 19.5, so just think about that. And remember, in the end of the video, I was going to share with you one thing, and that one thing right here is this one, Mirror Tracker. So mirrortracker.info/calculator. This shows the best, the actual best farms to get into based on their return, their predicted long-term yield farm. They say Disney and Nike, surprisingly, predicted long, short. So whenever they have the highest long and the highest short, this is the one to get into. I think this is updated, but yeah, I'm interested in this. So this is probably where I would be shooting for, Disney or Nike. Look at the APRs right now, and always know that the long farm is more important than the short farm, because you are 2/3 getting money from the long farm game, 1/3 getting the money from the short farm game. All right, with that being said, this is how you not only you actually take profits, you pull out that short position, the cash on the short position is what we showed you. The second part was we showed you actually how to put money back into the protocol if you want to add more and more, build up your position. And third part, cash out. We showed you how to cash out. So I'm glad you guys watched the end. If you're interested, click the link in the description for the DeFi Mastermind. It gets into this stuff and way deeper. So if you're interested in getting deep into DeFi, check it out. And I will see you guys on the next video.